except for if I'm sick. Happy New Year! Welcome back to another episode of Chit Chats with Miss. This is our first episode of the new year, so Happy New Year. And I hope your New Year's off to a great start, and I hope you had an incredible New Year's. So whether you were in bed before midnight or you stayed up to watch the ball drop, I hope you had fun regardless of what you were doing. I'm really curious, so in Canada, I'm assuming North America as a whole, we call it the ball drop because we always watch some shows, and in New York City they have this like big ball and it drops at New Year's Eve, like right on New Year's, I guess like the start of the new year. So in the 10-second countdown it drops. So we call it the ball drop, but I'm really curious if you have ever heard that term before, if you are from another country. So please put it in the comments if you have heard that term, if you are from another country, and what country you're from. So I'm really curious because I think there's so many terms or so many things that you talk about that are just so normal for you and you don't even realize that other people might not even know what that means. Like me saying the ball drop. If you are new here, this is my series called Chit Chats with Miss, where I come each Monday and talk about the things that I'm up to, the things that I'm watching, listening to, what I'm reading, and I tell a joke, and sometimes I say a would you rather question, but I always end each week with a positive affirmation, so it can hopefully start your week on a little bit of a positive note. So let's get to today's episode. So I wonder if you have any goals or if you have any intentions for the new year. I definitely have goals and I definitely have an intention.
My intentions for the new year.
It's kind of like growing my life and getting to the path that I'm meant to be on. So I'm really excited for that and I'm looking forward to that this year, and I feel like it's gonna happen. I feel it in my bones that this year is gonna be a big year for me, and I cannot wait to see what happens, and I'm sure that's gonna come with a lot of challenges too, but I'm excited. I feel like I'm pretty confident this year is gonna be a good one. I have been so sick, I don't know if you can hear it, but I've been so sick since the middle of December, and I've just kind of been like a slow decline. I would say maybe right now I'm like a few percents better, but I still have like a terrible deep cough. It's not COVID. I took a test. It's not COVID, but I went to the doctors because I have asthma, so I had a really terrible cough. So I went to the doctor and he gave me antibiotics for a sinus infection, which I didn't even know I had. So that's awesome. So I got antibiotics for that, and I'm sure definitely it did help clear up my sinuses, but my cough is still there. So I'm not really sure what's going on, but we will see. Today was my last day on my antibiotics, so we're just gonna see what happens, and hopefully I start to get better. On January 1st, I did a yoga class at my gym. It was a 2-hour yoga class, and it was like a 1 hour was for yoga. The second hour was an intention setting for the year and a sound bath, which was really cool. So in the center of the yoga class was a lady, and she had all these, they looked like bowls. They're definitely not called bowls. I'm so sorry if you are a yogi. They looked like bowls, and she would make sounds with them. I honestly don't really know what she was doing with them, and she had like chimes, and she had this one sound thing that sounded like the ocean. That's my favorite one. I love water. But the whole thing was really well done, and it was awesome. So I was sick, so I kind of like stuck in the far back corner, but I'm really happy that I did join this class. This was my second ever time doing yoga in a class, so I'm really happy that I got outside my comfort zone and I signed up because I saw the post for my gym and I really wanted to go, but I always like hold myself back from things that I want to do because I'm like, oh, that's a little outside my comfort zone, so I'm not going to do it even though I want to. And then I saw the post again and I was like, just join, Melissa, just join. So I did, and I'm really happy that I did join because it was really nice and I loved it. Reading! So finally we are back with a book. We are back with the What Am I Reading This Week segment. So I love to read, but sometimes I find it really difficult to find a routine to read, but I'm currently in one, so I'm very grateful for that. So for Christmas, I got 3 books. I got the new Michelle Obama book, and I got 2 books from my favorite author, Colleen Hoover. So I'm currently reading one of the 2 books that I just got called Finding Cinderella. And this book is really, really nice. It's short. I wanted to go with the shorter of the 2 Colleen Hoover books just to kind of like get myself back into reading. And it's awesome. This book so far, I'm on like chapter 2, and it's so good. So good so far. But I wanted to talk about the beginning of the book. So at the beginning of this book, Colleen Hoover goes over her personal story, and she talks about how she became a writer and where she started from, and that writing was actually just her childhood dream, and she didn't think childhood dreams would eventually come true. And she got a job, and she was then a mom of 3, working, taking care of them, and she kind of just put aside her dreams until she saw one of her children chasing after their childhood dreams. And then she started to put all of her extra time and effort into writing a book. And then her fans and the people who found her first book, really responded positively and requested a sequel. So then she wrote a sequel, and then eventually snowballed from there. She was able to quit her full-time job to become a full-time writer, and it's just really inspiring and motivational, and it's motivating to know that you can chase your dreams and you can achieve them. You just got to put some time and effort into it, but there is a reason you have that dream in your heart, and there's a reason you have that dream, because you have the ability to do it. You do. So her story is super motivational, but the story Finding Cinderella, the one that I'm currently reading, was originally just a free thank you gift for her fans and her readers. But her fans really wanted the book to be published, and they wanted a physical copy. So that's where this book came about. So I'm loving it so far. I'm only on chapter 1. Sorry, I just finished chapter 1. I'm starting chapter 2. But it's really good so far. And the other night I was reading, I was like, man, like I love to read. I love to read. I love when the stories like suck you in and you like feel so good. I just love it. I love reading. So that's what I'm currently reading this week. If you love to read and don't know what to read, I honestly recommend starting with Colleen Hoover. I really like her stories and her style of writing. For today's joke, it is, what do you call a fish without eyes? It is fish. So for this week, I've been watching, and I finished Emily in Paris season 3 on Netflix. I really like Emily in Paris. I think it's just like, it's such an easy thing to watch. The episodes, I'm pretty sure, are only like 30 minutes long, so it's not like a long dedicated hour that you have to watch spending to a show. It's just like something super easy to watch, and I love getting to see the scenery of Paris. But the one thing I really want to say about this show is in season 1, season 2, and season 3, one of the characters is like pregnant. And for me, it's like, that's just so weird, because shows aren't usually like that. Usually shows are like a whole year or like something like that. But like, I understand in Netflix, like they only have like 8 to 12 episodes per season, so they don't usually use like the whole year. But the thing is, the show only comes out like once a year, or like maybe if you're lucky twice a year. You get 2 seasons in 1 year, but it's been a whole year to then act like it's only been like 3 weeks or like 5 months, or like, I just think it's really funny. But the girl in this season finally had her baby, but I just can't believe she's been pregnant for 3 seasons. That's crazy to me. But basically what the show is about a girl named Emily, and she's an American, and she works for a marketing firm in the States, and they need someone to go to Paris to work at their Paris location. And she goes, and she's having to learn the culture, and she's making new friends in Paris, and it's really cool. I really like it. But season 3 ended on a huge cliffhanger and a really big plot twist. I was like, what? Yeah, crazy. But overall, it's pretty good. I really like it. So go watch Emily in Paris. For today's Would You Rather question, it is, would you rather learn every language on earth or be able to talk to animals? For me, I feel like that's very simple. I would love to talk to animals. Love! I have a dog named Sato and he is so cute. I always talk to him like, how's your day going? Or like, how did you sleep? Kind of things. But yeah, so I would love to be able to talk to animals. But what would you rather? Put it in the comments below. As always, I love to end every episode of Chit Chats with Miss with a positive affirmation to leave with you for the week if you need it, or always, they're always here. So for this week's positive affirmation, it is, I allow myself to create big goals and believe in my ability to achieve them. Let's say it one more time together. I allow myself to create big goals and believe in my ability to achieve them. You can achieve anything you set your mind to. I promise you, my goals are outrageous and bigger than my house. So I love goals. I have such a big vision for my life. So this positive affirmation is so good for me too, because sometimes I'm like, man, like, where do your goals come from? Like, it's gonna be crazy if you ever achieve these. But I'm like, no, I can achieve them. So I hope you take this positive affirmation with you and say it each week and know that you can definitely achieve your goals and you can achieve anything you set your mind to, and you are the biggest barrier between you and your goals. So don't let your negative self-beliefs stop you, and let yourself achieve and know that you can get there. If you liked today's episode, please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on any episodes I post to my channel, and you will always be notified. Thank you so much for joining me today on this episode of Chit Chats with Miss, our first episode of the new year, which is really exciting. So I hope you have an incredible week. I will see you next time.